You want to be on TV? Fucking kill somebody. Don't go to acting class. Hello, everyone. Hola, mis amigos. You're listening to Oh My God, Hi, Hijo de Dios. Hola. With me, George Lopez. Porque, ¿sabes qué? Let's do the show. Porque I got a lot of things to do. I gotta go to that dry cleaner ahí. My kid fell. Se pegó la cabeza. I gotta go get some Neosporin Paul.
You know what George is?
Oh, I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
What's his name? George.
Lopez.
George Lopez.
Oh my God.
OMG.
OMG. Hi.
Oh my God, hi. Spring is in the air and everything is turning green. So smoking green should be just as pleasant and as refreshing as taking a dip in the pool or teabagging someone. For the smoothest, coolest, and biggest hits, you got to try freezepipe. And this is true. Freezepipe, it really is kind of a revolutionary way to smoke. So they make a unique line of freezable pipes, bubblers, bongs, and more. So when you smoke a normal thing, sometimes people cough because it gets you. But if you use freezepipe, it's almost like eating like a Thin Mint. If you're eating choncho and then you put a Thin Mint and you went, the panocha would taste like mint. Scientifically engineered to cool smoke by over 300 degrees, you can expect a smoother and bigger hit without the intense coughing or throat burn. I put it on my culo and coughed and the air came in. Remember how the girl used to be able to do ping pong balls in Vietnam? That's probably not going to make it to the ad. All right, so go ahead, Gil, hit that.
Use code OMGHI for 10%. That's thefreezepipe.com. And code OMGHI for 10% off.
If you smoke marijuana, what would you say? Like if you were a tennis player, you'd want to get the best tennis racket, right?
Yeah.
You want to get a good racket. If you smoke marijuana, how do I make it sound uncool? Marijuana. All right. If you are a smoker of cannabis, invest in a freeze pipe, and I guarantee you, the way that you have cannabis will never be the same. If you bought a TV, you'd want to buy one with a picture-in-picture, with plasma, the best screen. If you're into the cannabis, which everybody is almost now, invest in a freeze pipe, and you will not. I'm telling you right now, you won't regret it. And it wouldn't be the same if you made it.
And he says, okay.
You probably don't remember what you.
That's it exactly. And I said, okay, same thing as last year. So I told the wife, said, they want you back. I said, yes, they do. What are you going to talk on this time? He said, same thing I did last year. I said, I don't know. I don't remember. So Saturday night, I went out there, I was drinking some wine with some people, and they said, what are you going to talk about tomorrow? And I said, I don't know, I'll find out when I get up on stage. So I got up on stage, and it was like a television show, George. I've never been, they had production people. It's sponsored by Oxygen TV. So they had a big asshole fucking timer, 45 minutes. Top 45 minutes right, clocking you down. The stage was set with arrows and lines, how far I could wander or not wander.
Did you have a handheld, or did they put it to you?
Lavalier, just when it was up there. And that's
a lav.
They have a different room set up for that. They have sound people go to this room. They put makeup, all this shit. And I went out there, and
Cheers.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
It really is.
Yep.
Good to see you.
And we talked. I went up there and started talking.
We kissed. We fucked.
And the next thing I know, 45 minutes was up, and I got a standing O when I was done. And so. And these people, you'd have thought I was George Lopez the way they were. I told people.
I never get those, no.
I had people coming up to me. I told the old lady when I got back that there were at least 1,000 people come up during the 3 days that I was there taking pictures, wanting autographs. These are people that follow that true crime stuff.
Yeah.
And I said I had no idea. And they're not a bunch of wackos.
Did you ask? Were they able to ask questions, or?
Yeah. They had a couple of sessions. The first thing, live podcast.
Hey.
I got there first day. They'd asked me in advance, would you be part of a live podcast with us? I said, sure.
Like, I'm a pro.
So I went up there to do this live podcast.
I'm a fucking pro.
And these guys, they had bourbon.
Oh.
Yeah, they were up there drinking bourbon. If I wanted bourbon, they had wine for me if I wanted wine. So I said, I'm with you. This is your pot. I'll drink
Isn't that what
bourbon with you.
Santino does? He has like bourbon,
He's
whiskey.
Yeah, his show's called Whiskey Ginger, so they have whiskey all over the place.
Yeah, so it was good. And
So you went on the podcast?
yeah,
And the host there had
the
things to
host
drink?
had everything, and there were all kinds of people out there. And
Oh,
they
live with an audience.
Yeah, live with an audience, and they started screaming. It was inside this great big hall. This was just one section of the hall they had set up.
Is that a convention center right there by Westgate?
It's in the Paris Hotel.
Oh.
And so went up there. They said, "What do you think?" And I just looked out. I said, "This is insanity." You know, they were screaming. I'm not used to this kind of stuff, but let's do what we got to do. And so the podcast went well. I did that. I did live Zoom for somebody. I had
fucking all around. Huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Mr. Excitement.
One of these groups of people, I think they're paying like for VIP tickets. I want to say it's like $1,500. And I'm saying
And you get to go to every event?
you get to go to any event you want to, and that includes a room a little smaller than this. You sign up, you get 10 minutes with Gil Carrillo in private.
No shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't come cheap.
No, so whoever you want to go see, whoever you want to spend time with, it's there. You do an autograph signing section, you do photograph section. They had shit all lined up.
Okay, so if you signed autographs, did they pay you? Was that separate? Did they pay you one? Did you get paid?
Yeah, I got paid.
They pay you one time for everything?
Yeah.
Or if you signed autographs, you got paid per autograph?
No, you sign up one thing for everything, and they ask you, will you give your time to do this? Will you do this? Will you do this? I realize they're not, not naive. Somebody's making bank over there.
Yeah.
I know they're making bank.
Who would that be? The guy that puts it? No. Somebody has the idea, right?
Yeah.
Somebody has the idea.
Probably like the
Let's
event
do
organizer.
Crime Con. Then you hire maybe a company that puts it all together.
Yes.
Produces it. So, yeah.
And then Oxygen.
And then Oxygen Channel, which used to be the lady channel. Wasn't it the
Now
women's
it's all
channel?
crime,
Now it's
yeah.
all
Now it's
100%
murder.
crime.
Yeah.
You want to be on TV? Fucking kill somebody. Don't go to acting class.
So they had, I'm doing this with them, but I'm sitting there thinking, because I've never forgotten where I came from. And I could see these people.
I have, by the way.
I've forgotten where you came from?
Yeah, fuck yeah. So, by the way, we remember for that. So okay, sidetrack. So when you're having trouble in a relationship, the therapist will say, why don't we go back and do an exercise, like you set up a date night. Now every night, now you have to ask her out, like if you've never met. Hi, how's it going? Would you like to have dinner on Saturday? Sure. And you drive in separate cars
Oh, my.
to make it all look.
Authentic. Right?
When I did that, I didn't show up. I said, fuck. I made the first mistake. I'm not going back in there. I went to fucking no. But guys have to go and then sweet talk your wife.
I wouldn't do that.
And then you say, hey, would you like to go back to my place? And that fucking whore probably says, yeah, and there you go, right there.
And the idea
It's
is,
nothing like the first time.
the idea is like recreate the magic.
You have
but
to
some of
recreate
the-
your relationship.
No.
So all right. So because there's therapy cons too, where let's say those guys like Tony Robbins, or people that go and have 5,000 people, and then you go and they try to fix you amongst 5,000 people.
You know what they're
all right,
doing?
So then you go to this thing. It's not just one day, right? It's probably the whole weekend.
No, I started with a live podcast Friday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I spoke Sunday morning, did my last thing with them midday Sunday, where I gave my private time to these people, and then that was it. And then I'm done. No. Matter of fact, Sunday night they asked me they have a mob museum in Las Vegas.
Oh, cool.
I'd never been there. I don't give two shits about a mob museum, but they asked me in advance, would you show up? That way they could publicize. Gil Carrillo was going to be at the mob museum.
I would care about the mob museum myself. You have Bugsy Siegel's eye.
They do?
No.
So I didn't
He's got
care.
his eyes shot out of his head.
And then they had the closing, whatever you call after you shoot a movie when they have drinks together and everybody.
The premiere? A rap party.
Yeah, they had the rap party Sunday night, and then that was it. But it was just long days.
Did you think you got underpaid? To me, it sounds like you got underpaid. To me.
Yeah, I did. I know I did. They asked, I went, and I told Kevin Balfe, the guy that's running everything, I said, hey, listen, you're going to have to cut up with some bucks. Last time you asked me to do this, I was last minute add-on, and it cost me $500 out of my pocket by the time I got done. We didn't talk about ground transportation. We didn't talk about per diem food and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I know somebody's making a nickel. He said, well, we don't have a budget. I said, I don't care about your budget. Somebody's making a nickel. I'm going to make a nickel. And I'm not asking for the goal. I'm not asking for the vault to open up for me. I'm just saying I'm not going to put any money out of my pocket. And so we got that straightened out. But I told him last night I was there, I said, some of these people that go there, people like, Dr. Phil was there, Phil Hansen, To Catch a Predator, Matt Murphy from, I love Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy was from Orange County DA. He's the one that did the Dating Gate, prosecuted Dating Gate murder.
Rodney Alcala?
Rodney Alcala. He did Rodney Alcala. Just a straight-up guy.
Okay, so the dating game murderer, there's a guy named Rodney Alcala, just passed away. He was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Went on the dating game, won. He was already a killer when he went on the dating game. Told you back then what kind of vetting they did. So they were going to want a trip to go to somewhere, and the girl got creeped out by him and called the dating game and said, I don't think I want to go on a date with this guy. This guy's creepy. And probably saved her own life.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that guy would have killed her.
And Matt Murphy, who was with the Orange County DA, he does a lot of Dateline and 48 Hours kind of stuff now as an expert.
Matt Murphy?
Yeah, I think that was Matt Murphy. I think that was his last name.
He's not, no. Okay.
And he just, when I got there and after seeing that he was there, that was the highlight of my whole weekend. I got to meet him because I thought, I respect him.
Is he the older guy that goes through?
He's not an older guy. He's not that old. He's got gray hair, but I mean, he looks good. And doesn't look that old. And he does it. It was my highlight. And I find out later, he told the crowd, I spoke after I was done. He went up to speak later on. He told the people that were in his group that the highlight of his whole weekend was being able to hook up with me. And so he says, hey, maybe we can hook up with something in the future. Maybe we can do something together. I don't know. Okay. The guy that catch
The fucking Supremes over here. We ready to go fucking solo here, Diana Ross.
no, get out.
Huh? That's what I hear. He's about to ready to go solo.
All these,
He was
all
on
these,
live podcast.
and let it be known to one and all within the listening purview of this podcast. I was feeling lonely, man. I was out there. I haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
Same here.
And I just. And maybe this is it. Maybe they're telling me goodbye. Don't bother me.
No, we haven't been.
So
been away.
And I don't call you, ask you what you're doing because you say, hey, you're not my wife. I'm not going. So
No. But was it fun to get? I've been on other podcasts. Was it fun to be in that atmosphere?
yeah, it was. It was. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What do you think made crime? What do you think made crime so popular? Everything is about crime.
Everything is about crime.
Everything is about crime. I just watched. I hate to think it's all the things I watch, but it's a lot of it. What made crime popular?
You can answer that one yourself. Crime brought me to you.
Yes.
And I don't know what turns these people on. These people talk about it over there like at CrimeCon. Other people talk. They ask questions about crime. What was he really like? Were you afraid when you went in the room? Did he stink? Did he smell?
Right.
Was he polite? Was he a friend? Those are questions other people think about. And I never once thought about, I never realized that people cared that much. And I thought if people did care that much, before meeting you, seriously, if I thought people that did care that much, I thought these were just nut
You
jobs.
thought people are fucking loons because they care about this and that, yeah.
And so after seeing all the people that were there, very few of them. I didn't meet anybody that was way far out. They were just honest, hardworking people that spend their money because they do this. They follow true crime.
What did Chris Hansen talk about?
I don't know. I didn't go listen to his
Bouncing
lectures.
checks?
I don't go listen to any of their lectures. That's another thing. Have you seen this guy, that guy? No, I really don't care. I was in the business. To listen to somebody else talk about it doesn't excite me. They did have, and I stood away. There was Benet Ramsey.
Oh,
She was there?
Her father. Her father.
Oh, was that?
there.
Was
Yeah.
that what that was? Is that where you were at?
Yeah.
I saw him. I saw him a bit of his on the news.
Yeah.
That has to be. It has to be quite different because his wife is gone.
Daughter's gone.
The daughter's gone. The son.
Has sued Henry Lee and CBS for the.
Dr. Henry Lee.
Yeah. I saw Dr. Henry Lee. Old friend. Good. It was great seeing him.
Man, that's.
And who was he? I'm less familiar with this.
Dr. Henry Lee is best noted for recently. He's a blood spattering expert.
I would have had a big whistle if I was over there.
But he was. He
He
testified
did the
in OJ.
the staircase,
Okay. Yeah.
but he did OJ too.
He did OJ, yeah.
All right. So he's the guy.
Yeah, he's, and I've lectured with him before to cop groups at the same thing, and we've had dinner. He came out to one of my cases when I was in trial on another murder case, and it may have even been Richard that I was in trial for. A former partner of mine, a female that I broke in an homicide. We did a
Got big
case.
titties?
No, she didn't. What does he thought? And sorry,
Missed you guys.
Well, sometimes they do though.
they.
I saw a lady police officer with big tetas. I was like, I'll fucking run this light right here.
So did I. I ran the light and she wouldn't stop me. So, Mr. Wang, his daughter, Fiona.
Did she have big tetas? Mr. Wang's daughter.
Yeah, Mr. Wang and her husband, his son-in-law, killed her, and we knew it. And Mr. Wang had a lot of money, so we worked as far as we could, and we knew he did it, but there wasn't enough evidence to get a prosecution.
He got
on
away
him.
with it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And so the Wang family paid. They hired Dr. Lee to come out here from Connecticut. I think that's where he's from.
Was Henry Lee ever a coroner?
No. Not-
So he just
not to my
has
knowledge.
his degrees in forensics.
Exactly. Everything he did was all there in forensics.
Yeah.
He's a blood spattering expert.
Yep.
He does all that stuff. And so he paid for him to come out. I come into my office one day, big bay, bunch of tables in their desk, and I walk around. There's Henry Lee with my old female talking to her. And I said, "Hey, Dr. Lee, what are you doing here?" He says, "Oh, my God, I just found out this was your case." I said, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, Mr. Wang hired me to come out here to review this stuff. I read everything. And when you get to on our reports, when
And
you
by
get
the
to
way,
very end,
Henry Lee, his accent of Henry Lee is good considering the way Henry Lee talks.
Oh, really?
He has such he's been in the United States pretty much his whole life. He's got such a heavy accent, and he's so good at what he's talking about.
and he's so funny.
And
when
he's
he does-
funny. And you have to really struggle to hear
Yeah, you got to lean
what
in.
he's saying.
That's
because
why
you're
everybody
like,
pays attention to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His humor gets his point across. He's great. He really is. And he just said, I didn't know. When you get to our reports that homicide guys do, the very end, there's two names, one on top, one on the bottom. And my name was right there along with my partner's name. That means it's our case.
Wow.
And he says, I get all the way to the very back. I see it's your name. And I said, yes. He says, I just told Mr. Wang, if I'd have known this, I'd have saved you money. No need for me to go out there. And he trusted me that much. So it was all good. And he told Mr. Wang, I agree with everything that they say in this report. We know who did it, but tough to prove.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
So when you retired, and did Frank Salerno retire at the same time that you did?
Oh, he retired several years before.
So he retired before.
Yes.
And then he became a private investigator, pretty much.
Yes.
Because his credentials are incredible.
Oh, they are.
He opened a private investigator company.
Yes.
Okay. And then were you forced to retire or you retired?
I retired out of choice. I had the way it works. Before, you used to have to retire mandatory at 60, so you could sign away if I want to waive it and keep going. I had signed papers. I wanted to keep going. I wasn't ready to retire. I had just had my kidney taken out, and I had just had my knee operated on. So now it's September. I turned 60 in November.
Wow.
So I either have to they go on with the process, and if the doctors say I'm not physically capable yet, then that means I'm going to go without a paycheck for a month or two because my paper's in for a week. So I just said, no, I'm 60. I'll just take it. Take it the way I am. There's no need for me.
Retired at 60.
Yeah.
And did you want to go to work after that?
Yeah, I wanted to do something. I didn't want to work at the time. I didn't want to work. I could have stood on as working cold cases there at Homicide Bureau.
Right.
That I didn't want to do. I did not like dealing with snitches. I didn't like dealing with attorneys anymore, with defense attorneys.
Yeah.
And just the shit you got to put up with. I was banging heads with the captain that was there at the time. And so I just said, hey, I'm going out at the top of my game.
Why were you banging heads with the captain?
At the time,
Did you want to become a captain? Did you want to?
I did want to be a captain, and I thought I would be a captain.
Oh.
And then this guy got put in there because
Did you think you got slighted of being a captain?
not from when he got put in there. No, he got put in there. I understood why he got put in there. Dave, he was good friends with Mr. Tanaka, and at that time, Mr. Tanaka was getting all of his ducks in order because he was going to be the heir apparent. So he's getting his people in order, and I understood, and I was not bitter. I was not angry at all. He had been lieutenant longer than I had. He didn't know the business like I did because he never worked homicide and he hadn't been there that long, but let him go. He was going to be put in there for a while just as an acting captain because our captain went off injured. So now...
How did he get hurt?
It was internal problem, his problems.
Yeah.
That captain made it official, I'm not coming back. Well, this guy's been the acting captain now for 8-9 months.
And
We're not going to pull
captain.
Yeah, we're not going to pull him out and then put Gil in there. So I understood that. And then we had our first staff meeting not too much after that, where they said, okay, they want us to come up with a budgetary solution. No overtime. They want us to cut our overtime budget to zero here at Homicide Bureau.
Oh, boy.
And I said, that's an impossible act. We can't do it. And he said, what do you mean we can't do it? I said, we are a reactionary force. We don't schedule our murders.
Right.
So somebody's been working here for 5 hours today, and then all of a sudden he gets a murder. He goes out to 3, his 8-hour day is done. So what are you going to do the first time he tells the family, hey, sorry, my time's up, I got to go. See you tomorrow. He said, the first time somebody does that, they'll be rolled up the next day. Yeah. And I just looked at him, I said, you can't do it. Sorry. You know, I know that can't be done.
Yeah.
So there it is.
I think we assume that the police, the sheriffs, the fire department, the paramedics, that they're a 24-hour business. Yeah. But it is a business.
It is.
It's not it's a public service, and I think the taxpayer pay for that, but it's a company as well. They run it. They got to run it like a company.
Exactly.
So I would probably say that in every police department, everywhere, it's understaffed.
Oh, they are.
Of course.
I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to be a police officer in these times, or even a teacher. Like, teachers have always gotten fucked. With what they have to, with what they get paid. Brutal. They should get paid double. Because, they're teaching kids, and, kids don't have respect, and then it's a whole big thing. But with the police, there's not enough detectives, and there's too much crime. And there's not enough highway patrolmen, and there's not enough sheriffs, and there's not enough police department for every police department everywhere. And I think if the police departments everywhere had to give the actual numbers of how many officers they need, even to just get to a level, I think people would go out there and commit more crimes, realizing that the response time, if you call 911 for anything domestic, they probably don't show up. right?
It's sad.
If you say there's a
really
guy
is.
with a knife in my, Momo called you. Remember there was a guy.
Yeah.
There was a guy in Momo's neighborhood.
Oh, really?
In Downey that was out there with a fucking samurai sword.
Yes.
Was this recently?
He took his samurai sword.
About 5
he
months, 6
fucking
months
stabbed
ago.
his nativity scene
Christmas scene.
and
Oh,
his
shit.
snowman. He killed his snowman.
No way.
And the guy was all in black with a backpack, and he had a fucking long ass sword, and he was going around,
That's crazy.
taking swings
Yeah,
at
and
everybody's
Frosty.
the snowman, or any other a deer or whatever you had in your front yard. And but the guy he was fucking out of his mind. One, and he had a fucking saber, and he was swinging that thing. I mean, it's fucking dangerous, man. That shit's fucking dangerous.
It is.
No kidding.
I was doing a live at my house, live with Channel 11. We were doing a live spot from my house when a couple of guys were running from the cops come try to go over my house.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Sirens going on. I finally had to tell them, excuse me, we have an emergency
This
going
is
on.
an active crime scene.
Yeah, we're
No
I'm
shit?
Gonna yeah, really. And they got it on. My wife is saying, he's got a crow. I said, I got something's going on. I'm like, why are you making noise? You know I'm on doing this live.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys had burglarized a house. Cops were on them. And they were running. And one guy had a crowbar in his hand, started to come over my house, my son was sitting outside. My son first thought it was his nephew, my grandson, and his buddy just horsing around. And he's sitting outside in the front of my porch, and they realize, oh, shit, this is a real dude. Wow. And he starts to get up. Well, the guy sees my son, and he turns around and starts running. And now my dog starts running after him. And I hear the family yelling, Milo, get back here. And they're screaming. I said, why in the fuck are you screaming right now?
Yeah.
And then come to find out, it was two guys trying to get away from a burglary. So it's
In your neighborhood, what did they rob? A store?
It was a house, probably about 2-3 blocks away. They went inside, thought the house was vacant. There was a lady inside. She screamed, picked up the phone. They said, oh, shit, somebody's here. And then they took off running.
They thought
So,
it was-
yeah, and so they came and they were following. And people were dialing 911. And I got good pictures of them on my cameras. Gave them to the cops. Didn't make a difference. The cop says, Sheriff's Department, works for the department I work for, said, I hate to tell you this, but, we catch you guys. These guys will cop out. As soon as they cop out, we'll give them a ticket, and they'll be right out the door again.
I know there's too much. Yeah, no, there's too much.
So they don't do anything.
And what about if people have like their own neighborhood security? What do they call those security companies? Like
private security.
Yeah,
That sort of thing?
Those guys don't carry guns, right?
No, they don't.
And
carry
are they
guns.
trained in anything other than just they can drive?
I don't know what they go through because I never.
Like a car, they have all they can do is
Yeah, just look
Hey!
intimidating.
what's going on over there? That's it. That's their
Yeah, hey,
fuck you.
hey,
All right,
Don't do that.
don't call me puto, eh?
hey, continue. So they don't have any.
They don't have any
They
jurisdiction.
have mace.
They can.
Listen,
anybody
if I
can
was
mace.
a guy and I had a job where all I only had was mace, I'd rather blow the fucking guy, than to shoot him with mace. Get him tired. He went that way. He was fucking around the corner.
He's moving slow.
But if you're in a job, if you're a fucking adult male and the only thing you have to protect yourself is mace, and there's like 7 guys right there, just jack them all off, man.
That's it.
It'd be
That's
faster than the mace.
Not only that, you'd get tired and wouldn't have to worry about running.
And then you got their DNA, you can find them.
Perfect.
Let them run. Jack them off with one glove and then take the glove and put it in a plastic bag. I got him.
I can
Whole
tell you right
generation
now, I
private
could see a
security.
recommendation for a 1-hour training class.
Hey, you go fast and then at first, and then I don't know. And then you take the glove.
You've had practice at this.
I've had practice for a long time.
Yeah, an
and
hour
you take the
class.
glove and then they all of a sudden start knocking on people. Is Ron here? Damn, that's him. So
holding it up.
but that's all they have is they don't have a gun. They're not trained. They don't know how to shoot. They probably don't.
There are some guards that are armed security if they got license and stuff like that.
If
but
you have an iron-on fucking badge,
I don't
if you're
think-
a man, and you have an iron, if you're a security agent and your badge is ironed on, nobody's going to take you serious.
The way civil liability is today, nobody's doing anything. Everybody's afraid to do
don't
anything.
you see my badge? It's ironed on. Hey, fuck you there.
Yeah, they don't do anything with it.
Jack you off.
Come over here. You're already set up. Spread them. You turned around. Enjoy smoking cannabis like never before with an ice-cold freeze pipe. Only problem maybe your bong is not good. It leaves you with a scratchy throat and you're coughing. Ditch the bong forever. You've had years of doing it. Now it's time to upgrade to the best way to enjoy cannabis, and that is the ice-cold freeze pipe. Engineered to cool smoke by over 300 degrees. Freeze pipe's glass pieces will have you puffing bigger clouds and zero chest or throat burn. The secret is they're freezable glycerin chambers that come on every piece. It really is. So cough less and relax more with your new cough less and relax more with your new favorite glass piece from Freeze Pipe. Remember these are called girls' pieces? Like they'd say, hey, is she a good piece or not?
Yeah, I remember that.
I still talk like that.
So do I.
That's not going to make it in either.
Oh, Jack.
Okay.
We're going to do one at the end of the year, all the inappropriate things that we've said.
Okay.
That's just the show.
Shop for the smoothest hit now at thefreezepipe.com. Use code OMGHI for 10% off. That's thefreezepipe.com and use OMGHI for 10% off. So that's a new guitar. I've never seen this one before.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, but if here's things people don't do. They don't lock their fucking doors and they leave shit in their cars. If you don't want to get your car broken into, do not leave your shit in the car. Even a baby seat. Take the fucking baby seat out and put it in your trunk. Don't leave your bag there. Don't leave your work thing there. Don't leave your jacket in the car. Don't leave anything in the car.
Yeah.
There's people that just go around looking in people's cars, and if they see a leather jacket, anything they can take or sell or do anything. So you're making yourself a target to be robbed because... especially after the pandemic, people go around stealing packages. They got a Ring camera, but the Ring camera doesn't call the police.
Yeah.
And if you're at work, what are you going to do? Hey, this is a private residence.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Can you jack yourself off?
This is Gil Carrillo, and I approve that message put out by George.
Yeah, so we're creating victims.
Yes, we are.
Anybody that goes out to the store after dark by yourself, you're asking to get fucking jacked. I mean, you go to let me go to the market and go in the daytime. Don't go out at night, especially by yourself, especially if you're a woman or anybody a man with a kid. Man, it's dangerous out there. It's not just dangerous in Los Angeles. It's dangerous everywhere. Mm-hmm. And don't make yourself like a victim and lock your car door all the time.
My wife, my son lives within a mile of where my house is. If my wife says she's going to the store, no, I'll drive over. I'll go with you.
Exactly.
And so the first thing I ask is, son going with you? And she said, just what I'm going to say, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
And then he goes.
Well, somebody has to go with somebody. Don't let anybody go. Everything can wait during the day. There's crime during the day, but you're not as susceptible walking to your car, pushing a bag of groceries, and having you open your trunk and your back's turned.
And I've told her time and time, just make sure you're surrounded during the day. Because we're not together all day long.
But crime is a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
I'd like to get Chris Hansen on the show. Because to catch a predator, they run reruns. That's that shit that, it's awful, man. It's awful that. But there's people on the computers that pretend to be... listen, everybody. You can talk about Tinder. There's been murders on Tinder. Mm-hmm.
Craigslist.
There's been Craigslist, the Craigslist killer, but also the dating sites they didn't have when you and I were coming up, and now to open an account, they don't verify, they don't vet, You can open a Tinder account, which we should probably do. Let me open a Tinder account and start getting some viejas in here. Can I? Okay, here's what we're going to do.
All right.
No.
I'm going to open a Tinder account.
All right.
I already have one, but I'm going to pretend like I'm going to open a Tinder account, and we're going to start to see who I match with and see if they can come on the show or leave a voicemail and tell us what they're looking for in a man or woman.
I love. Would you be you?
Because I'm a target for putos too. I mean, people who are homosexual.
Would it be you in the fake account, or would you be almost like catfishing people, just trying to get a match, and then be like, "Oh, hey, this is actually George. Come on the show."
Hey, man, I'm already a catfish the way I look, if I tell them or not. But I think let's do that.
All right.
All right. Because
I'm making a note.
I'm just happy to be here.
because there's a lot of we probably can't even show their names probably. There's a lot of people that are looking for love in all the wrong love in all the wrong places, shooting my grandma on all the wrong faces, looking for love. I'm looking for a toalla.
Yeah. Wait till it gets stiff. Use it
I'm
as a
looking for
brush
towel.
later.
Hey, I jacked off on a towel my grandmother used and she scratched her face.
Oh no.
Hey, congratulations.
I had to tell him at work I had a cat.
Congratulations. I already had another successful golf tournament.
Man. So I've been out of town. I can't say what I've been doing, but I've been out of town, and I got back in. I had to do a show last Saturday, or whenever but Saturday, and then go back and then fly and then go to the party and then go to the tournament and then go to the doctor and then fly back. Then the flight was delayed, and I got in at 2 in the morning, and I had to be downstairs at 7, and I worked 16 hours. I worked 16 hours the next day. Okay, so in this thing I'm working on, there was a scene where I have the last line, and I expose a flashlight on something, and it's difficult because you don't see anything. And I could see the producers talking about really not liking what was going on. And I told the other actress, we were in this old building in this state that's not California. And I said to her, there's spirits in here. And she says, there are? And I said, yeah. And I said, but they're not bad. They're not bad spirits. So literally 10 minutes later, I did something in the scene that the same people that were questioning whether it worked or not were applauding. And something came to me that wasn't in me before I said there's spirits in here. And that section of what I did there will most definitely be in the trailer of the movie. Ooh. And I didn't have anything. They were trying to cut the bait and make it a shorter scene. And when I said there's spirits in here, but they're not bad, something came to me that I didn't have before.
What made you say that? Were you feeling something in the air?
It's an old building. It used to be an AT&T building.
And Momo wasn't with you?
No, Momo, cabrón. He can't stand for a long time. And I got that thing came to me out of nowhere. And that was at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Damn.
After getting there, after leaving my hotel at 9 a.m., where you have to do something, and it's 16 hours later, and you have to pretend like it's
You just started.
First one.
Yeah.
And something came to me that I didn't have. I didn't have at all, and it came to me.
Good for
So
you.
I'm into that whole spiritual thing. But
I've seen on the internet that Momo and Hefty, I guess, are doing a paranormal podcast.
yeah, they do a paranormal podcast. In my bedroom this morning, I got this. I sent it to the guys, and they listen to what I think this says. You tell me what you think.
I think they got hard-ons. If they
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here. You ready? Okay. Okay, you ready?
Already that's terrifying.
You tell me what you think. I was in my house. What do you think it says?
What the fuck is that?
What do you think it says?
One more time.
Run?
It sounds like chingon.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yep.
That's a paranormal app.
What? That's where in
Oh,
your
see.
house?
In my bedroom.
See, the next one would have been me saying, I'm a bitch. I'm out of here.
The next one is a realtor saying, so he lived here for 7 years. How about that?
Dude, I'm hearing it more and more each time.
Okay, that's
funky.
They're not all bad spirits.
You just
I'm
sprint
fucking
out of
outta
there
here.
when that happened, or
The-
what?
yeah.
not Aaron back there, is it?
It's
Yeah,
freaked
it's
out.
Aaron.
That's Aaron back
Oh,
there.
Aaron.
The man
Aaron
himself.
Morales. So the tournament was a success.
Yes.
And then, here's the thing. So many things, everybody grows up the way that they grow up. However it is. Like I grew up, I didn't know my father ever, and I didn't live with my mother. And my grandmother was, worked during the day. My grandfather was the second grandfather, but was my grandmother's second husband.
Oh, right.
And he was from Mexico. My original grandfather, we didn't talk to. And then in, the early 70s, he was down on like Sepulveda, and he chased my grandmother with a gun.
Holy shit.
We went over to this house, and he was there, and he had remarried, and he chased I remember my grandmother literally running through the screen door and down Sepulveda, down over there by Devonshire, and he was fucking chasing her with a gun. And I was probably like 7. So, I didn't have the best.
That sticks with you.
Oh, my God, it's awful, man. I've never seen my grandmother run before. I saw her dribble a basketball and try to lift her leg with her dress, not wearing any calzones.
That stays with you,
That
too.
was awful. I don't know which was worse, her running from the gun from her or me seeing her fucking panoche. What?
I
It
saw
was like
my,
General Motors. So many things that come out of there.
I saw my neighbor. She had to be about 70, and her husband had to be about 75. She was chasing him down the street with a hatchet.
Oh, my God.
What?
Yeah, she wanted
Those are
to,
the good old days.
Yeah.
she was chasing him down the street with a hatchet. He got away. That was Frenchie. And her name was, it'll come to me.
But also, if you're dating and you guys are already throwing shit at each other, don't get married.
No,
That's a bad sign.
It's gonna get worse. If people don't say the truth when the truth is the only answer. If women say, listen, if you don't want to be here, just tell me. And you don't want to be there, but you say, no, I want to be here, but because the women are taking the chance that you're not man enough to speak up for yourself.
I learned when I was a kid, I was a teenager, the manager of the band that I was playing in, she taught me something I've never forgotten. Palabras sueltas no tienen vueltas. That's loose
awesome.
words have no return.
All right, say it again slower for the audience. It doesn't sound good in English. Let's do it in English. You say it in English.
Okay.
What does it tell them what it says?
Palabras sueltas, loose words, no tienen vueltas, don't have return.
So you say that.
Loose words don't have return.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like,
so that
Yeah, it's not
right?
the same.
That's just like all right. But in Spanish,
it's nasty.
It's
So
brilliant. I never heard it before either.
That's great.
and so if somebody says, you know what? Hey, you know what? We've been married for 3 years. Let me tell you something. I've been faking orgasms and your dick ain't shit. And then an hour later, I'm sorry, I just said that. I was angry. I didn't mean it.
You can't take it back.
You can't take it back. It's there in the back of your mind. It'll always be there.
Yeah.
So I learned, don't say anything you don't want to haunt you back.
And people say things to hurt other people or hurt
Yeah.
people hurt people. So
Oh, yeah.
hurt people say things to hurt other people. But I think the reason why there's a lot of Datelines and Oxygen shows and Chris Watts from Frederick, Colorado, who killed his wife who was expecting and the kids because he found some other woman that he worked with, and that woman was involved, even though she wasn't charged. I know people. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they know the case.
Yes.
She was involved, and she deleted all of the messages and all the correspondence, and deleted the pictures. And the police said, if you delete that stuff, it looks to us like you're trying to hide things. And she says, no, he lied to me, and I was over it. But no, she destroyed evidence.
Yeah,
a good try.
I believe she did.
She destroyed evidence.
That's why when I saw John Rene Ramsey's dad there, they said, "Gil, you want to go?
John
you want to go see
Ramsey.
him?" And I said, "No, I don't want to see him."
Was Amanda Knox there too? Anyone?
No, you know who's
She had big titties. No.
what the hell's her name?
Eileen Wuornos.
Okay, O.J. Simpson killed his wife and the dude that he killed, alleged to have killed.
Do you know the joke that they?
Ron Goldman.
Ron Goldman.
Ron Goldman. I shouldn't say
His
this.
sister.
I shouldn't say
his
this.
sister was there. She spoke.
Arnell.
Yeah, she spoke.
Shirley Simpson.
I don't know which one it was. One of his sisters.
OJ's dad was, I believe, of an alternative lifestyle.
Is that right?
Yes. Marvin Gaye's father was a cross-dresser, which cross-dressing doesn't even come up anymore.
Yeah.
What's a cross-dresser now? Because I wear things that are very feminine.
I just feel like that's not
Napkins. I wear tampons in my culo, and I let the string out from the back of my belt. And when I get on an airplane, they say, "Sir, you have a string hanging out of your pants." Man, pull that thing. These pants just, they don't make pants like they used to. And she pulls out a little chicken stick with caca on it.
Yeah.
beef stick.
That beef stick, the same beef stick the fucking Highway Patrolman got back in the 79, back in the summer of 69.
You can use that string as floss.
All right, let's get another beer.
Okay, let's.
You want to grab some more? There's one
yeah.
over there, but I can grab
They,
more.
my buddy said that.
Are we done, by the way? No, we're not, huh? We're just started.
send me a picture the other day. He was on a flight a couple of weeks ago, and he said he's got the window seat. Some other dude has the aisle seat, and some lady has a seat in between them. She's wearing a tight pair of these stretchy pants.
Oh.
She gets off. She has to go to the restroom. She's rather large, but she gets up and goes to the restroom. So he gives him a chance to stretch. He gets back, gets by his window seat. He says, the good thing I sat down first. He shows me a picture. She gets back to sit down. She's got toilet paper hanging out of her ass.
Oh.
You can't help but laugh.
Oh, let me see the picture. You got it on your phone.
You can't help but laugh.
Do you have it on your phone? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it until you find it.
Okay, I'll show you when I find it.
But what is the fascination with women wearing yoga pants? or they're not even
You mean why do women like it? Or why do men
leggings.
like it?
I don't think. Listen, man. You see very few. You know what? Just because you can throw a baseball doesn't mean you should be a Dodger. Okay.
Okay.
So there's a lot of women in the airports that I see. I only see people in the airports, but they should not be wearing what they're wearing. What's the number to call in?
818-533-1843.
Okay, ladies, if you wear Lululemon, oh man, that's.
Hold on, I missed the context.
Put that on the. Man, hold it up on the thing. Damn.
Yeah, that's
That's a
your
piece of-
camera right there.
That's a piece of toilet paper hanging out of her leggings.
Oh,
Or a fuse.
I told
If you light that, who knows what's going to happen?
they would have had to have moved me
Let's light this candle.
because I wouldn't have been able to stop laughing. Get me off the plane.
Stop laughing. I would have been able to stop fucking scratching my fucking self after. With the fucking heaves. The what do you call hives?
Yeah.
Heaves. Okay, so say the number again.
It's on screen right now, so it's 818-533-1843.
Vergas pa noches y más. So awesome. That's the name of my next comedy special. So if you wear leggings, but I don't know. You can't really say. I can't really say what a person body, how they're comfortable with their body. But let's just say that there's a lot of people who are not. Well, you can't even say that either. But there's a lot of pants being worn by women, and when you think that women are self-conscious about their bodies, why would you wear a sausage casing to the airport.
It's a 5-pound sausage casing with a 10-pound body in there.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I think. I'm not sure what it is. You know, I wear pants that are baggy, but I would not consider wearing yoga pants and seeing a little fucking 31 flavor spoon right there in front. That little pink spoon. That's what my verga would look like.
Not the Baskin Robbins.
A little Baskin Robbins spoon. Upside down, backside, not the scooper up, the thing down. So it's about that long, and then it's got a little round, the cabecita right there, the little head. My dick looks like a keychain now. When I was in high school, it was big. But somehow it got to be like a keychain.
With time, it got
worse. It looks like a fucking keychain. My dick is the size of a keychain now. And not even a good keychain. When you get on...
I'm not going to ask you to prove it to me.
Once you get on the way, at Bar Store right there where they have their license plates with people's names on them, a little pinchy verga like that. It used to be, I was quite proud of it, and now it's atrophied away to a little pedazo of skin tag.
Oh no!
My dick.
When did it start? When did it start going downhill?
Probably in my mid-50s.
60. Wait till you get
when I would wash it and not get hard. You know, when you wash it when you're young, it gets hard because it's getting cleaned. And then I would put soap on it and wash it, and it would reject the soap. It didn't want it.
It just says thanks.
The soap wouldn't lather up. Somehow the dick had closed all the pores, and it said, "I'm not even going to lather up because I'm not being used. Why clean me?" Gotcha.
If that's happened to you, 818-533-18.
But also, explain to us why you wear the clothes that you wear, and if you feel self-conscious or not, or does it matter to you or not, or body image or your body type. And, there's women that used to wear baggy shirts to cover the fact that they were well endowed on top.
Yeah.
So when I was at a
did.
golf tournament a long, long, long time ago, we had a girl that was walking with us that had huge, beautiful tetas. And she was a little girl, she was already a woman, not girl. She was a woman with a blousy polo shirt, but you could see that she had a couple of like the fucking bumpers to a Bel Air, the little like a cone shape.
I'm getting there now.
Right, like this, this one right here, like a cone.
All right.
And I looked at him all day, and I was like, man. And I told the guy walking with her, I said, man, she's got some huge tits. I mean, wow. And he goes, yes. We've been together for 1.5 years.
I just think how big they'd be if you were with her.
Man, is that awful or not?
Oh,
that's rough. That's rough. Yeah, congrats, brother.
And he got all pissed off. He started walking the other side. So you're still here, puto? You're still gonna see me? But yeah.
I know women
in airports.
Women,
I see, and also I just saw a woman who was actually very thin, wearing those pants that had camel toe.
Oh.
And I mean, we're talking deep dish. Like,
yeah, I like camel toe. I like.
Oh, we just got the
like
episode
fucking
title.
DiGiorno.
Deep dish
It's not
camel
delivery. It's DiGiorno.
Oh yeah.
She had some, so you know the thread, the whatever material's right there is like the heart of the watermelon or the artichoke. Then you get those yoga pants, and then you put them into a pitcher, and you fill it with water, and you leave it on top of your house for 2 days, and then you have sun tea from her.
There you go.
From her chonch tea.
There you go. You know, I was
like
with
chai tea. You have chonch tea.
I was with my wife.
And you can put sugar, split it up, but I think it's
Why not?
sweet enough on its own.
Take it straight.
A few years ago,
Or maybe there's some caca. Maybe she, you don't
went
know.
the wrong way.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know that it could be, sweet and sour, like a Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
Where you put it in your mouth, it's sweet, sour, and then you're like, all right. What are we talking about?
Something extra. What are we talking about?
Sure.
My wife and I were at a wedding a few years ago, and it was a beautiful wedding. It was a beautiful sunlit. We're in a big room.
Do the people already have kids that were married?
Everybody's there, and there's a lady wearing a sundress.
Ooh.
We're inside, and the sun is coming through. She's wearing a she was an attractive lady, beautiful sundress,
White lady?
white lady, but you could see as she moved.
Oh,
I showed my wife. I said,
something
"Look,
in the way.
is that
she
just me, or is
moved.
it?" She says, "Oh my God."
Shadow verga?
You could see her string hanging out. You could see her string hanging out from between her legs. And I just thought it was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. You know?
Did you tell Pearl that?
Oh, yeah. I said, look at that. He did. I said, look at that shit. Isn't that cute?
Damn.
You know,
No loose words
and
there.
she
Like an
discussed-
Ed Wood, pull the string. Pull the string.
I don't know who she's more disgusted with, the lady or with me.
But why is the string there? Because so they can find it?
So they can pull it back out.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
guess it might get sucked up in.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that.
Do butt plugs have a string or not?
No, they have a flared base.
Oh, so it stops itself
Yeah.
from going in there.
I don't know. I ain't never stuck anything on my
Yeah,
ass.
have you, as a detective, do you ever see a dude with a light bulb in his culo?
No, never have.
Anything?
Nothing. I've never seen a guy with anything stuffed up their ass.
But sometimes, you know,
I've
doctors.
heard of them.
Okay. If
heard
you're
of
an emergency room doctor or nurse or urgent care nurse or doctor, and someone has come in with like a matchbook box, a match car in their culo, or the TV guide or whatever, like a remote control in their oil, the little Apple one would work. Well, I could fit in my culo, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I haven't tried it, but
That's doable.
I
haven't tried it, but I think it would fit.
I did have a case. I can't mention name because it's a case.
So Apple, if you're out there, how about start making those remotes with a little string on them so I can pull it out?
We had an officer-involved shooting where guy shot the guy, the driver of the car, tried to get away, tried to drag the deputy down. So he got a little herb, but shot the guy. We got him in custody. And it was drizzling outside. It's an outdoor crime scene. And I'm there with Frank. And I'm processing the car. I'm looking at the car, going through evidence. And we're not done yet. Frank says, "Hey, why don't we just have the car towed inside, you know, and that way we could come back and finish it tomorrow."
So that's also a thing that they still do that, I'm sure. Well, if you go to the car, instead of examining it there, you just close it, right? Seal it, probably with tape that say that so nobody can get in there.
Crime scene, do not.
Well, we'd have it towed. We don't seal it right there. Towed, and it said, "Do
Yeah.
not touch."
Right.
held,
At the police impound. Yeah.
So I told him, I said, "Frank, I'm just about done. There's just a little bit of shit inside. I don't mind staying out here. You know, you can go sit. No, let's tow it. Oh, okay." So we tow it in. I said, "But you're going to finish it tomorrow. I wanted to finish it tonight. You finish it tomorrow." Frank said, yeah, I'll finish it tomorrow. So we go back there and we interview this female who was passenger in the vehicle. And she's sitting there telling us a story about how this guy picked up on her and, "Hey, you want to go for a ride? Let's go for a ride." And so all of a sudden the guy please say, "You want to hit?" He had going to hit some heroin.
No.
And she says, "Oh man,
I think you
don't-
shoot up heroin. You know.
yeah,
Or
says,
people
"I
snort
don't-
heroin.
I don't really carry. No, I don't do that stuff." And he says, "No, but I want you to."
Oh.
He says, and I started getting scared. So I watched him hit, and then he filled it back up again, and he gave it to me. And so I took a hit. He says, "Really? To me? I didn't feel shit." But this guy was getting all, he was getting all nervous.
So
And he
she
says-
did it?
Yeah, so she did it. And then she was a prostitute,
Sex
But-
worker too, by the way. That's
sex worker.
That was called a sex worker.
Sex work is real work.
That's the.
So then
that's
all
what
of a
they're called.
sudden, he grabs her by the head and he says, "Get over here." And he wants a blowjob. So she starts blowing, but she's not really putting everything into it. And she says, "What's wrong?" He says, "Hey,
And they're not married.
no,
Okay,
this is
'cause
just somebody just picked
usually
up on
when
that."
women aren't putting everything into it, they're married.
and so he says,
She's practicing.
"What's wrong?" He says, "Hey, listen, you want me to suck your dick? I love sucking a dick." She says, "But you can't just force my head down on you to suck your
That's
dick."
true. I mean, you can, but
Yeah, so he says, "Okay, just sit back, watch." And so he starts jacking off in front of her. And then he gets his flashlight.
is it me? It's not me, is it?
No, the one that I wanted.
Sounds like me.
He felt the spirits
he
in the
grabbed
room.
this flashlight, the one that he was going to do something with before, that I would have processed the night before.
Wow.
And he grabs a flashlight, and she says, "You better start sticking that thing up your ass, because pretty soon you ain't gonna be able to do shit. You know, it's gonna." And so he pulled it out of his ass, and that was the flashlight he left behind. eventually because he got shot. You know, we ended up in custody and we got everything. But Frank,
You know the model of it? Was it like a plastic one or the?
it was a plastic one. But Frank had to.
Looking for recommendations.
I said, hey, partner, you're processing the car tomorrow. Remember, not me. So he had to finish it.
So let me ask you this. So, because my uncles, when I was growing, my uncles would have their cars impounded, and we would get it, and that'd be at the impound line. Can you look into a car and kind of see what may have happened in your mind?
Yeah, you can't. Well,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
just like get the
like
picture of what
you're a
happened.
police officer. So, can you open the car door and think, because of the way things are, what might have happened in there? Because
yeah, you look at things that are disturbed, things that are broken. Normally, if there's some kind of a struggle inside, maybe a seat back is broken.
Yeah.
You know, maybe something's broken up on the dash or up on the headliner.
Here's one thing that people never talk about, because you know, Netflix has a lot of new shows. There's a Marilyn Monroe documentary that's really good, that has interviews that nobody has ever heard before, and it all but implicates, allegedly, because I know the family, Robert Kennedy in the murder of Marilyn Monroe.
No.
I'm going to say alleged because I know the family. I'm just saying that the Netflix special
Yeah.
all but implicates the Kennedys.
Yes.
Okay, so of all of the crime, Evil Genius, the guy that had the pizza bomber, the guy that had the thing around his neck, the one Sons of Sam that they don't think the Son of Sam was the guy that did it. There's some evidence in there, but also the one documentary that has never left the trending or near the top is yours, The Night Stalker.
Well, I don't know. I never follow.
It's always in the things that people are watching. So even though it's been out a year and a half, pretty much, it's still like people are still watching it and finding it. But also, tell me about the guy that got pulled over that had the car that had women's underwear in it and like pictures, and that guy, you guys thought that you had found the guy,
Arturo Robles,
but he was just a guy that was
another freak.
another freak, but not a murderer.
Well, he wasn't a murderer. Not my murderer.
He wasn't your murderer.
I don't know if he ever got anything else.
What did you guys did you interrogate him?
Yeah, I talked to him.
And what was he pulled over? Was he arrested and taken in? Or
He was arrested, and we took him in. We set him up. We had a court order lined up.
looked in the
for him.
car?
We we did a search warrant on his car on a house.
Yeah.
Did everything and that's where we found all the pictures, the sliced underwear, everything that was at his house. And he was no doubt, he was a con. He answered my questions as we were going. Wow. We had nothing. I mean, he looked at me and he'd smile. You know, why? Hey, we saw you ducking down over there at the Red Onion, and he says, I wasn't ducking. I was tying my shoes.
Wow. Oh.
You drove around the parking lot.
That's not-
I got to remember that.
That's not in that. That's not in the documentary.
No, it's not. This is all stuff because it didn't pertain. They didn't. There's so many avenues anything could have gone through. They showed the documentary and the investigation. Not every.
But I remember you said he may be a killer. He's not my killer.
Yeah, he may be bad, but he's not mine.
He's not my.
Yeah.
So did that guy? Was he born in the United States or was he from another country or where?
No, I believe he was from here.
Okay, so did he live with his mom?
Lived at his mom's residence. Mom and
Oh,
dad.
his mom, but his mom. Okay, and then he was. Did he have other people's driver's license or his
No.
own?
No, his own.
And other people's underwear, like women's underwear and
Oh,
stuff.
they were all. Well, I don't think they were his own because if they were women's underwear, they were cutting the crotch. Unless that's where he wanted to hang his huevos, they shouldn't have been like that.
And then when you asked him, you were asking him questions pertaining to your case.
Yes.
And he clearly didn't check out, right? Like he didn't check out.
He gave us answers, but the answers were all answers that he could. There's no way you could.
But was he
verify
lying to you guys?
Yes.
But he didn't need to lie because he wasn't the guy. He wasn't the guy.
Exactly.
He didn't need to lie, but he was lying to you guys.
Yes.
Okay. You see
That's what tells me he was a con.
Yeah.
But not my con.
Yep.
He had been through some kind of interrogation before. There's no doubt.
Was he Did you ever cross paths with him again after that?
No. I was asked by the DA's office. They had another case where he was hanging around a school, and they said, "Hey, can we use your information on that case?" I said no.
Right.
Unfortunately, it was, but you're letting it maybe a child molester go, and I'm saying, yeah, but I may be opening up Pandora's box with a murder. So we didn't let it out.
Have you ever seen Laurel Erickson since?
Yes, I saw her when they made the documentary, and I've talked to her since then.
Laurel Erickson was a reporter in Los Angeles, everybody, and then she and her producer from NBC,
Paul Skolnick.
had flown to San Francisco,
Yes.
and they were looking for the Night Stalker, and then the guy was watering the grass and said, was he an officer too?
No.
The guy watering the grass?
We may have been from San Francisco, but I don't know.
And he said, so what are you guys here for? That killer that is writing things on the wall? And said that to the people from NBC, and then they were like, we didn't know anything about that. And then there's footage in the Night Stalker documentary of them asking you guys, and this guy's faces were like, well, where the fuck did you hear that from? Right? And they heard it from the guy watering his grass in San Francisco.
There was stuff that was leaked, and you often wondered where did it come from, and it had to come from somebody within my department or somebody within LAPD.
And then Dianne Feinstein was the mayor of San Francisco?
Oh, yeah.
So Dianne Feinstein, senator, is she still a senator or did she retire?
Yeah, she's still a senator.
She's retired. That's an old motherfucker. Too.
Did she
Her
retire?
and Janet Reno.
Old as sin.
Oh, she's going to.
Yeah. So and Barbara Boxer, I don't
I
think
did
is
nothing
in politics.
personal. I just wish she'd stop sucking free air.
So that's a police way of telling somebody to drop dead.
Yeah, she's 88. It's crazy.
Does she have big tetas?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They shriveled up in her
She's got
50s.
like
Down to
mine,
her thighs.
skin tags. Like my Vega, she's got two of them next to her.
62.
Oh, so she was the mayor of San Francisco and then held a press conference and released information that should have not been released. And
Exactly.
that's why the Avia tennis shoes were thrown into the ocean in San Francisco. right
That's
over
correct.
That was the pair that they figured
Golden
out.
Gate Bridge.
right
like
over
one
the
of
Golden
one,
Gate Bridge.
right?
Yes.
That's when Richard, he had started to use a Stadia.
But if those shoes were, I mean, we're talking about memorabilia, crime memorabilia.
Oh, dude.
If those shoes were around, what do you think they'd be worth? People would pay for millions of dollars.
That'd be like the Hope Diamond of crime paraphernalia.
And what's the other one they have? Oh, John Wayne Gacy as well on Netflix.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. I was just told recently that they're not going to make a series. They were talking about making a series following the documentary, perhaps. And good news, bad news. Good news is the documentary was so well done. What are you going to show in the series following up on that? So they're saying, great job.
I still think there's a lot of
That's
things.
what they're doing with The Staircase. I don't know if you've seen that, but they took
Yes,
that whole
I'm-
documentary and turned that into an actual series too.
So
I'm
the
watching.
Staircase.
That
Have you
was
watched the
awesome.
Staircase?
I've started watching the Staircase. It's slow and laborious.
What do you think? The guy was bisexual for sure. The guy, the alleged, but
You say that like it's a bad thing.
no, it's not a bad thing. Hey, you go out there and you're gonna.
yeah.
If you shoot, it's like shooting a bullet versus shooting a shotgun
There you go.
with pellet. You can hit 100 things with a shotgun,
Yeah, more
and
for
you can
me.
hit one thing with a. So if you're bisexual, you're a sawed off, and if you're straight, you're just a handgun.
There you go. No. Give me that sawed off.
Why shut yourself off to half of the population?
Why be a handgun when you can shoot buckshot and hit 100 people?
I remember my son coming up to me telling me that one of my daughter's friends had just had breast augmentation, and he says,
But they don't
"Dad,"
have vertigo augmentation.
She showed me him. She says,
Asking
"Oh,
for
it's
a
okay.
friend.
You're gay. It would, it's, you're with your sisters. It's all right." So I showed him. I said, "Son, hurry up, go back. Tell him your dad's gay too." I wanted to see him.
That work for you?
No,
What did he say? What did he
One
say?
time.
no. He just started laughing. He said, "Dad."
When Eva Longoria was on my first show, I played her wedding planner, and then Valente came in and said, "If you want to get undressed in front of me, I'm gay." And I said, "Órale, Rosie O'Donnell." Go back over. But yeah. So Okay, yeah. So I think there's still things in all of those cases.
Yeah, there's got
the
to be.
Menendez brothers are in 2 different prisons. They'll never see each other again. Oh. And then when we went to do the show last Saturday, we passed by San Quentin, and there's still a lot of things over there. You know, Charles Manson's gone, but then there's still a lot of people who are incarcerated, and then serial killers who are still out there who haven't been caught yet. Right?
I just talked at this last weekend thing over in Las Vegas. Guy's name is, oh shit, why are you doing this to me? I'm no good at names.
Tell me I know the name.
He was the guy that discovered the DNA on the Golden State Killer. Paul Holes.
Oh,
thank you.
Aaron from way down.
How could I forget that?
I don't know.
I've done
I
a
want to say that we should go over to Aaron's apartment over there, his house. There
it is.
There's some driver's licenses over there.
Some suspicious.
That's
signs.
what-
we shot up a documentary with Paul Holes about a year ago, and I just saw. I said, "Hey, whatever happened? You know, the thing was going to go. It was there." He says they sold it to Fox. Fox got it, and then Fox decided they didn't want to air it. They were selling some of it out. Didn't get distributed, so and then I said, "Okay, well, so be it." And Paul Holt said, a lady asked me Saturday night, do you think there are any other serial killers out there right now? And I said, absolutely. You know, they just haven't been caught. They haven't been, attended to. And the next morning I get up and I read New York Post is quoting Paul Holes as saying, in his mind, there are at least 2,000 serial killers out there easy.
Ooh, good God.
I've heard like 30 to 50 as a number thrown.
What makes a serial killer? How many make cereal?
3.
Oh, yeah.
3. He says in his mind there's at least 2,000. Now, when you look out at 2,000, that's really not a bunch of them compared to the population of the United States. But there's still a significant amount that they should be looking at. The problem is, it's hard to teach. You know, if you listen to people talk, homicide investigators have big egos. You know, they want to know everything is this way, and, they want to be what's right. When somebody tries to tell them there may be something else going on, they don't want to listen to it.
They don't want to hear it.
So it's difficult. And I remember at one point in time, I brought up to my then captain, hey, I think there's something going on over here, and we ought to look into this. Then I got invited to a meeting. And I went to this meeting. I went there, and
did they ask you to fucking relax?
And they asked me to fucking relax.
Wow.
They just said, "Hey, what's going on?" And we talked about it. And I said, "Okay." So I took my information back to my captain, and my captain just said at that time, "Well, we got nothing solid. Let's don't mention that serial killer word around right now."
Wow.
So they didn't want to jump on. They don't want to address it.
Yeah.
Because that creates political problems. In the news. Everybody gets scared.
Like there's no real good incentive for them to want to take on a bunch
Exactly.
of
You know what? It's crazy because we're already in May, and then we already went past the anniversary show. We never did. But talk to me about Villanueva, the sheriff in Los Angeles. Like Alex was gonna come on the show, but then we didn't have him because I've been gone or whatever the schedule hasn't permitted. But and this is just Los Angeles, but it's why is he
nationally known now?
Yeah, what has he done wrong? I would say, is it right or wrong? Because he wanted to come in here, and when he called us and called me, I probably should. Yeah, no, it's not bad. He said, "I heard that your place is a place where you can speak freely," and I said, "Absolutely." So he wanted to come on because he wanted to speak freely. Why is the position of a sheriff now where the guy could be known nationally? How did that happen?
He just got recognized as sheriff of the number one sheriff, sheriff of the nation or something. They got some kind of award. But if you did, politics is a strange.
Is that an elected? It's not an elected.
Sheriff is an elected position.
Oh, it is?
Yes, you're going to vote for the sheriff of Los Angeles County.
Wow.
And so it doesn't matter if you're in LAPD's jurisdiction, it is the county.
But LAPD, the chief of police of LAPD is not an elected position.
No, that's an appointed position. That's why LAPD, a lot of people are against Chief Moore because he bows to the city hall. Not like Chief Gates used to stand up to them. He used to tell them whatever he felt like, and which was good. They loved him. I went to a retirement party. Gates just walked in the room and got a standing ovation. They loved him.
Why is that?
Because he
didn't take any
supported
shit.
his troops and wouldn't let politicians push him around.
Okay.
That's why they loved him. Now you got somebody like Alex Villanueva, who went in there, was not expected to win. Went in there as the vast majority underdog, but he got elected. And when he got elected, he had one guy helping him out, driving around on his own time, doing this, who had been fired by the previous sheriff. The sheriff had previously fired him because there was allegations of domestic dispute, and he had beat his girlfriend, had broke into her house. So they did this.
But also, that sounds like, I mean, that's all bad shit. But people have. I mean, it's so funny because one thing can stay with you forever. People have things in relationships that go sideways, and
Sure.
people make mistakes. And you can't. I don't think you can take somebody's life and say whatever, a party, you're drinking, whatever. I don't know what it is. But anyways, we're in a situation right now where we hold people accountable for the rest of their lives over something that happens in one day.
Well, what happened was Alex rehired that guy that had been fired. And so now you have Cruel, who's obviously against anything kind of domestic violence. And then you had a few other supervisors supported.
But I don't think anybody's for domestic violence.
No, nobody is.
Yeah.
But they jumped on the bandwagon. You've
Yeah.
hired this guy back
Right.
after he'd been fired by the county.
And it made it an issue about Alex
Exactly.
and not about the guy.
So they fought back and forth over it, went to court, did this, did that. Finally, the guy got fired. But by this time, Alex and the board have already started a major league confrontation. Whereas before, the board was kind of ramrodding the sheriff.
Right.
No more. So now he's standing up as a brand new sheriff, and he's standing up against them. The previous sheriff, a lot of deputies had tattoos from their monikers. Marines get the anchor up there.
Yeah.
Navy, Army, whatever they are. Well, deputies started getting mascots tattooed. They had Little Devils from East LA initially. They had the Vikings from, I want to say, Linwood Station. They had Pirates from Firestone Station. Then they came up with the Bandidos from East LA.
Yeah.
All these things. And the new sheriff came in and said, I want all that shit gone. So at East LA, they had a nice tile-laden floor dedicated to the East LA. They had a thing, and it was a boot with a sheriff's helmet on it, and it said East LA 2, something, una pata en los pantalones. That's a kick in the pants. That's
Yeah.
what it stood for, taken
Yeah.
from the riots. Nobody saw that outside of the station, but the new sheriff came in and said, I want that gone. It's offensive. And so he changed all it. Nobody could use it. Morale started going down. He started.
That wasn't Villanueva, was it?
No, that was McDonald
Yeah.
before. And McDonald's a friend of mine. I love the guy. But he started making these changes. They started losing confidence in him. Then people started getting called in and fired left and right. But civil service is funny because you think it's wrong, go to civil service. They may not agree with you, and they let you have your job back. But what it shows is you are doing something positive, but it's not saying how many are getting their job back. So they weren't having.
But even in a place where nobody saw it, it became an issue.
Yes.
Which it shouldn't be an issue because it's in-house.
And the guys did not trust him. They did not like him. So now Villanueva comes along, and he wins. He wins the election. He takes over. He's fighting the board. Now he says, first thing, hey, all your tattoos, it's all back. Put that shit back in there. Everything's free again. Let's just
But it doesn't make a bad person. It's just like a motherfucker has a tattoo of whatever.
Exactly.
Alma mater or whatever.
But it makes for fodder for the Times or for the Board of Supervisors, something just to pick up on them. Well, they've gone through this. They fought, and then what he did was, then he took on the board when he says the people of Venice Beach, they're complaining about everything. Well, he looked up the law, and we all have jurisdictions within the county of Los Angeles. And Los Angeles County, though, he's in charge of the whole county. And there's something in the law, you can't quote me on it, but that says if they're not doing their job, you as a county leader can take over and you can do it for them. So he started with Venice Beach, where they couldn't clean up the beach, the sidewalk down there. He went in there and he cleaned them out.
Yeah,
The business people, the residents, they loved him for doing that.
yeah.
But what did that do to the supervisors, to the city councilman? He just came out and said, they won't do it. The law gives me the authority. I'm going to do it. They can talk all they want to, all their money, I don't know where it's gone, but I'm moving in and I'm doing it.
If you have a business, let's say, unfortunately, because of whatever's going on in our country after the pandemic, there's more homeless people than there've ever been.
Sure.
And you don't know what they are. Some people are just, unfortunately, didn't have enough put away, and then they end up on the streets, right? But if you're running a business and they're urinating or defecating in front of your business or sleeping in front of your business, it's going to affect your business.
Exactly.
But then if you call people to move them away, then you look like you're insensitive to the struggle of somebody who's homeless. But then again, you're trying to save your business over the fact that maybe you have a cubby hole, where your door is, somebody sleeps there.
Yeah.
And during the day, they sit in front of your fucking business. And people, they're not going to want to go in there.
It's tragic. It's a sad reality. So he did. He went in there and he cleaned it up. And then he moved from there. He went to the VA over by the 405 over there, and there were people sleeping on the sidewalk in front of the VA.
They're not doing that anymore.
No.
Did he do that?
He got the VA. He got property.
They made those little huts, right? The little,
yeah, and they moved them on the inside.
That's right.
So they're on VA property now.
You know what? A year, 6 months ago, where we have the pre-party for the golf tournament is over there, and 6 months ago, we drove by. They were all outside the gates, and American flags and POW flags and Marine flags and everybody out there. And it's sad because you're like, this is how we treat our veterans. And then I went there just a couple weeks, I don't know when this is going to air, Monday or whatever, a week.
Monday, yeah.
And it's all gone, and now they're on the inside in these little kind of where The Rock lived in Be Cool, that movie, this Get Shorty sequel. Is almost like these little huts where you go in there and there's probably a bed and maybe a place to, but they're small and there's nobody outside of the VA anymore.
And everybody's happy.
It's a big move, and that happened fast. Consider politics happen fast.
Then he went to Olvera Street, right there across the street from Olvera Street, right around there, around the freeway. They were taking over there.
That's right.
He went in there to clean up Olvera, and he says, hey, I'm not done. So who in the public's eyes has he pissed off? Nobody. He hasn't pissed off anybody in the public. He pissed off the Board of Supervisors because he's saying, essentially, in your face, here, we can get it done, and here are results. Now, where's that 25 or 52, whatever millions of dollars they had for the homeless? What'd you do with it? Where's it at? What are you doing? And now they're having this Mark Ridley Thomas. He was the guy that made he didn't make the appointment. He nominated. He's the one that got in, the guy that's the Attorney General that is supposed to look over the Sheriff's Department and Villanueva. What happened to Mark Ridley Thomas? He left the Board of Supervisors, went to City Council, became indicted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's right, he did.
So he's under indictment. He was one of the Board of Supervisors for a long, and he's the one that nominated.
Mark Ridley Thomas has been in politics in Los Angeles a long, long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they finally got after him.
Yep.
And with him gone, with Gascon, I mean, you've got, at last count, there were 23 cities within Los Angeles County that had sent letters of no confidence, vote of no confidence. Mm. And he's got now district attorneys from other states supporting. You have...
Nobody likes Gascon, huh?
No, nobody. I haven't found... Normally, when everybody hates somebody, you find at least one or two people.
Yeah, they're like...
Nobody's come forward.
How did he get elected?
He had this guy Soros. He had Charlie Beck, who was the former chief. He endorsed him. Rick Caruso endorsed him. And he had a lot of money coming in. Caruso and Charlie Beck, who's out of the state now, have both come out publicly and said,
We fucked up.
yeah, we made a mistake. He wasn't the right man.
Why did Charlie Beck retire? Or why did he get moved away?
He retired.
I did a thing for Charlie Beck. I liked him.
I did too. I did too. When I see Charlie,
Yeah.
it's a hug. You know, we're friends. His wife was a former deputy. So, but what's the guy that went back to New York? He was from Boston.
Kelly. Robert Kelly.
No, that was the news guy. Bratton. Bill Bratton.
Oh, Bratton.
Bill Bratton has come out and endorsed Rick Caruso. You know, so he's come back, made public announcement. Charlie Beck has made
Is
public
Caruso a good guy or not? He wants to run for
Yeah.
mayor of L.A.
Yeah.
Should we vote for him?
If I lived in L.A., I think I would.
All right.
Well, and on that note, I hate to be the time cop, but we got to wrap it up. I know you got an event later on tonight, George.
Let's take a couple of calls, though. I got an event later on tonight.
A couple voicemails?
What you got going tonight, George?
I had something that NBC.
Any word on the pilot, by the way? Finding out soon?
We'll find out soon.
All right. Headphones on, gentlemen, if you want to listen to some VMs.
Oh.
George.
But I thought that was fun, huh? I think it was fun to catch up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Great, as always.
I'm serious. It was just good to see you guys.
I'll put a string in my Oreo next time I come in here. All right.
All right, we'll wait for Mr. Gill here.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Number one.
Hi, George. This is Andres Trevino. I'm actually related to Lee Trevino on my mom's side, believe it or not. He is my mom's third cousins, but we live in Indiana. And I've never gotten a chance to meet him, and I've always looked up to him.
You know what I mean?
And,
I think people say that they're
someone might
related.
Say, hey, you got his golf swing, and I'm not the best golfer, but I like golfing. But you know him, and I'm just curious. What can you tell me about him, about his personality and stuff? You know, is he a funny guy? Does he do bits? Is he humble? Is he, you know, anything that you can tell me about him? I would just love to know, because I don't think I'll ever probably in my lifetime get the chance to actually meet him. So, but yeah, thanks, George.
That's a great question. Okay, so Lee Trevino is a 6-time major champion. He's Mexican-American. He grew up in Dallas and moved to El Paso. He is in the World Golf Hall of Fame. People talk about Lee Elder, who passed away. He was an African-American golfer. He's the first African-American golfer who played in the Masters. But Lee Trevino is still living, and he played in the Masters too. Not to disparage anybody, but a Mexican-American golfer who has done all these things and who's still living should be more revered than I think he is currently revered. And Lee Trevino still plays. He played in my golf tournament this year. He is an incredible, you know, he's a loner like I am. That's why I think we've known each other 20 years, and I think that's why we probably get along so well, is that we're almost the same person 20 years apart. But he's a great person. He's a great golfer. He's beat Jack Nicklaus and won 2 British Opens and beat everybody at that time. But I think he's maybe the of all the people that I've met in 20 years, the person that I think is maybe most like me and maybe one of my closest friends or considered family would be Lee Trevino. So yeah, a great guy. That's awesome. A good one. Great guy.
Yeah. All right, next one up. You guys following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial at all?
Yes.
We got a question about that. Here
All
we
right.
go.
Are you, Gil?
A little bit. I've been following it.
Check it out.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Who's that, Puto?
Hey, so yeah, between the two of you,
Is that Johnny Depp?
I don't think so.
which one shitted in the bed? Because I
Between
really
you
don't
and I?
believe it was the dog.
I think Johnny Depp was all also in shit in the bed. Elvis used to shit in the bed because they would give him pills to go do the show, and they would give him pills to knock out, but the pills to knock out were stronger, and in the night, and they would just wrap him up. You know, his friends would roll him over like you do in home care, and take take the
with a
sheets,
spatula.
todo cagados, and they would say, "Hey, go throw them in the Landmark." Remember the Landmark Hotel? Because you could believe that somebody shit in the bed in the Landmark, but not in the International Hilton where Elvis was.
Oh.
Guys son todo cagados. And then when I was at the Hilton, like 15 years ago, when I used to do shows over there was still a housekeeper that was there, and that she said that Mr. Elvis, she called him Mr. Elvis, would have cotton balls with a little dab of blood on them because he was allegedly using a hypodermic needle. But she would go and clean his suite up there in the Imperial Palace, Imperial Suite up there on top of the Hilton, and she would not find sheets tocados. Those were in the Landmark. But she would find cotton balls with dabs of blood and couldn't figure out what that was from, but you know that's from a hypodermic needle.
Sure.
Oh wait, the ghost of Elvis is coming to me. Hey man, let me tell you something, man. I would, that goddamn Oscar Mayer. I was shit. I shit the Oscar Mayer wiener car one time, man, after a show, man. I'll tell you, honey. Man, no piss would come out, just shit. Actual urine would come out of my butt. The only man ever to do that. Wayne Newton never happened to Wayne Newton. Okay, he's good. He's good. God,
You
sorry.
back?
Yeah, I'm back. A lot
So
of times
Who do you think shot the bed?
Johnny Depp shed in the bed
Kill? Any?
because of
gotta believe it, Johnny
the texture of the caca. If Amber Heard had shit, wait a minute, hang on a second. Oh man, one time Priscilla shit in the bed, man. It looked like I got to have almond joy, honey. All right, I'm back. So when a guy shits the bed, you get a Rorschach test. You know, with a thing like a butterfly.
There he is.
And then when a woman shits the bed, you get an almond joy or like a mound's half of a mound.
I once interviewed a prostitute that said her job was shit on a man's chest. She's a dump on his chest.
I had a woman
paid
shit
for
on
anything.
me. I had a woman shit on me. Well, it's Mayan. She was like 11 months. I don't know if that counts.
Different animal. Different animal. All right, you guys want to do one more?
Yeah. Who's coming in? Bill Burr?
Coming up.
Who's coming in here? We have to get out of here because Bill.
No timing. I just know you got something going on tonight.
Well, all right.
I was told 3:30 was the night.
But wait a minute. Don't worry about it, man. The colonel said I can stay till 4, honey. All right.
Okay, here we go. Another.
How's my Elvis? Pretty good, huh?
Pretty good.
He's in the room.
Hey, George. This is Danielle. I'm calling from Oakland, California. I actually used to live in Carmel. That's
sounds
my
like a Karen.
hometown. And I met you many years ago at the tap room.
I used to get all fucked up with her.
You were awesome. I've been a fan of yours since early days of your stand-up and the show. And I just found this podcast and totally love it. It's great. I think Gil is a perfect co-host. I like his straight man to you're funny, and when he laughs as loud as he laughs, it makes you just kind of laugh out loud yourself. It's hilarious. I love it when you get Gil laughing.
Who is that?
Anyways, my request
Tony
was,
Field, man.
you once did, I think you did one of Prince's last television appearances on your late show.
Yeah.
And you told a story in an interview, I think after he passed away, about a hat you had given him, and I love the story. So if you get this and feel like sharing the story about your interaction with Prince and the hat, I think it's a great story.
Should I?
I love the humor you guys have on the podcast. I love the realness of it. George, I love some of the poignant stories that you talk about at your,
Who is this?
Your life experiences that aren't always funny, but they're real, and I think it speaks to all of us. So anyway, keep up the good work, guys. Gil, you're awesome. And thanks. Bye.
Is that what we're doing here? Oh, I have another beer. Let me have I'm not driving. No, I am, but I won't remember. Could I have another?
Go ahead.
Grant, come on, man. Get him. We got to have it. He's here again, honey.
Uh-oh.
I can't reach for it.
All right, I'll grab it. Just,
All right, come on. So
They're right here.
is that true that lady says that? Is that true about the show?
I don't know.
I'm not paying attention. Grant?
What
That's my
was the question?
third beer. I never had.
Was that a real call?
I never had a three beer. Is that a real call? That's that lady from the
no, we
office
didn't.
here
We
at
didn't pay her
ATC.
anything.
That's Aaron, man, using his other voice. The voice he uses to lure viejas into his
Aaron
house.
doing his best Priscilla Presley.
Who shit the bed?
Or no, this is the Prince hat story she was asking.
Okay, so, wow. Okay, so, man, this is crazy. So So on Melrose, across the street from the Improv, there was a place that made hats, handmade, and Michelle, who does my wardrobe, found this guy, Amin. The guy's name Amin. And Amin handmade hats, and I still have a lot of hats. Unfortunately, when I was in D.C. in 2018, the morning of my HBO special on that Saturday, his mom called me and said that Amin was in a car accident and that he did not survive. And he came to my house and dropped off hats. Cedric has a hat, and this guy was a fucking great guy, man. Great guy. So Amin made hats for me, and I had him still making hats, handmade hats. So he passed in August of 2018. But I had him make a hat for Prince, not knowing that Prince was a Jehovah's Witness. I didn't think about anybody's religious thing. So when Prince did my show, everybody had a purple Prince shirt with the symbol on the chest. And I mean, everybody was there. You know, it's very exciting, and he played amazing songs. If you want to see, you can look on YouTube and look at Lopez Tonight and see that. And then afterwards, I went into Prince's dressing room myself, and there was a ballerina in there. I don't want to say her name. Maybe could be I think she was nothing, but I just don't want to say people's name. And then Michael Bearden from the band leader. So I take this hat box in there from Amin, and I was wearing purple shoes that I got at Fred Siegel with Swarovski crystals on them. And then Prince goes, man, those shoes are fly. He said, or dope, something like that. And then I said, hey, I'll have some made for you. And he's like, you don't know my shoe size. And I said, I'll find it out. But then I told him, hey, my man made this hat for you. And the white box was there. And he says, George, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, man. I can't accept gifts, So I said, oh, okay. So the box was there. And then as we're talking, he's asking how Arsenio is. And then we're all laughing and stuff. And then he left to go check the show. And he came back and had to do a song over it because he didn't like the way it sounded. I mean, that's how meticulous that Prince was. Like, he held the audience while he went to the trailer and saw his performance and said, I think I can do it better. Went back and did the song again. And I think maybe did it twice.
Oh, wow.
And so
did anyone else ever do that?
No, nobody else ever did that. So in the process of him coming back now, he says, what's in there again? I said, a hat that I had made for you. And he says, I said, well, at least look at it. I said, you got to at least look at it because, I had it made. Look at it. No. And later he goes, it's a hat, huh? I said, open it up. So it's this white thing with a string on it. He opens the hat and a purple feather comes out, like a long feather like this. And then he looks at me like he looks at it, and then he looks at me and I said, yeah, it's like that. And then he moves the white paper out and it's this beautiful fucking purple hat with this purple feather, and he takes it out and he holds it up and he's like, this is for me? I said, yeah, but you can't accept gifts. And he takes when you know hats and you hit the brim like this, like, a hat person always hits the brim of the hat for some reason. And when he did that, I said, I think I got him. So he put it on. It fit perfectly. He's like, it fits perfectly. I said, of course. I checked it out. It's not off the rack. The guy made it. So he's got this purple hat, and he's wearing this kind of Prince thing, and then he puts it on, and the girl says, like, that looks sick, And then he looks at us, and we're like, man, that shit looks nice. So he walks like George Jefferson. You know how George Jefferson walked like that?
Yeah.
Up and back like 3 times in the dressing room. And I said, man, it's too bad that you can't accept gifts. And he goes, oh, no, I'm keeping this. He kept it. And he wore it out.
Awesome.
He wore it out to the car. He had a Stutz Bearcat. So imagine Prince was like 5'1" in a Stutz Bearcat. That would look like you dropped a marble in a car. Like you're looking for a marble. Look at that big ass car. And the gas pedal was the symbol of Prince, right?
Wow.
The gas pedal. Cool. Because remember when Chicanos used to have the baby foot would be the gas pedal, that thing. Yeah. And then every hub on the rim, like Batman had the bat wings, like the bat thing. And then his was his symbol on all the rims. And he gets in the car by himself with the convertible down in a Stutz fucking Bearcat, which is about as big as this room. And he's got the feather out, and he drives off. I said, you drove yourself? He goes, George, I drive. And he drives off, and Michael and I are right there going, there goes Prince in a Stutz fucking Bearcat with a purple feather hanging out. And then Michael Beard goes, driving the wrong way down the street. Fucking going the wrong way. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's fucking
Well,
driving the wrong
that
way.
was it today. Somebody be followed him, trying to roll his ass.
But he drove himself home back to Bel Air in a Stutz Bearcat with a purple feather hanging out.
That's awesome.
special.
Where'd you guys tape?
At Stage 29 at Warner Brothers, where they did the West Wing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right, one more.
Let's do it.
Pretty good, huh, Gil? You did
Good.
for not. It's like throwing palo. You
Oh my gosh. Hi. So this question is to both Gil and George.
Is that how
So
fucking annoying
Gil,
we
if
sound?
if you were an actor, what kind of movie genre would you like to be casted in, and why? And for George, if you were a detective, what unit would
That's a
you
good
like
question.
be in?
I'll be in the fucking love unit.
There you go.
I'll be a unit where I would put a fake dick in my pants. Right? Like, imagine me in a police uniform with a fucking dildo with the crown, like a fist, like a baby holding an apple.
The fake unit.
A baby arm holding an apple. Remember they used to say that the guy's penis looked like a baby?
Austin Powers.
So a little thing, right, with a manzana right there in my pants.
There you go,
And
brother.
I would be like, excuse me, can I speak to you outside with a big
Apple a day keeps the bitches away.
You'd be like the officer in a porno.
officer porn, officer choncho? Okay, go ahead.
And
Who would
with
you
me,
be?
it doesn't matter what it is. I'm dramatic because I have heart, I have soul, I can cry.
You would cry on command.
I can cry on
When was the
command.
last time you cried? Yesterday?
No, a couple over in Vegas. I got teary eyed, and the other part
On stage
comedy
or no?
because I love
On
comedy.
stage?
Yeah, on stage.
What made you?
I
What
got
made
a
you
little
tear
choked up.
Oh, your dad? Talking about your dad, probably.
No, it was about talking about how, I did these things when I got out, and now I've been married 51 years, and it's not me, it's her, and just trying to tell people that it's her, it's just a little
Yeah.
emotional.
No, you have a great wife.
No, she is. She's still everything that, even though she treats me like shit, she keeps everything together. No, she doesn't. She's a good lady.
We love
Is that
Tomorrow's
it?
Yeah.
and tomorrow's Mother's Day, so
There you go.
right here,
You wanna
George
stand on the
Lopez
good
podcast. Happy Mother's Day, Pearl.
Happy Mother's Day
Happy Mother's Day, Pearl.
to my mom who's out there. Cabrona. No, she's not there now. She might be.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
It's good seeing you again.
So what did you say? You would be what kind of actor?
I said either or, doesn't matter.
No, who would you be? Like name an actor like George Clooney or
Some comedic.
Spider-Man.
Comedic, I'd be like who's the guy? Oh, I just have one more question. Peter Falk.
I like
he
Peter
was,
Falk.
Peter Falk was
Columbo.
And if I was a dramatic, it would be just like my favorite show right now, and I've seen every rerun there is, and that would be Blue Bloods. The guy that used to be Magnum PI.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. I love what he portrays as chief of police.
What about if he stole your fucking house with a double reverse mortgage? Would you still like him?
No, I don't need a double reverse mortgage right now.
Huh?
But I like the way he treats his cops. And
Hey, I think Tom Selleck is a great person. I never met him, one of the few people I've never met. But some of those reverse mortgages are, because they give you money while you're alive, which I think is a good idea for people who don't have any family, so that it doesn't go into the state or they'll take your money,
Yeah.
So when my grandmother passed away, my friend Arnold worked at the bank that my grandmother went to. And, I gave my grandmother all this money, and I would say, Grandma, do you have any money? She said, I don't have any money, George. That's what she was always saying. So I'd give her $500 or $1,000 or whatever, and she fucking kept it. So in her account was $38,000, and the government took it. He called me and said, hey, your grandma has $38,000 in here. And at that time, I never went to pull it out or whatever. I don't know how you get it. But then I went to ask him, hey, what happened to that money that my grandmother had in there? And he said that the government took it. Her $38,000.
I don't know how it works, how those reverse
When
mortgages
somebody
work.
dies. But reverse mortgage, I think, don't quote me, because, I love Joe Namath and I love Jimmy Walker, and they're doing the thing like find out how you can win. You can get money you need for fillings and catheters and for dessert. If you call this number now, you got Joe Namath, who was Broadway Joe, and Jimmy Walker, who said dynamite, who didn't want to say dynamite, ever be reminded of that he was.
Yeah, I see those
J.J.
ads all the
Walker.
time.
And he does it so. And Tom Selleck does that. So can you pay a celebrity endorser enough money to where they compromise their integrity?
That I don't know. You know, and he's an actor,
That's a good one.
and God bless him.
3 beers.
I know he acts well enough to, and the wife and I. That's probably, one of our favorite shows. And I watch reruns. I don't care. I don't know how this one ends. I watch, but because as a character, he's serious. He's the father. People listen to him, and he holds his children to the same level as anybody else. It doesn't cut him any slack, nor would I.
Wow, do you watch Blue Bloods?
I've seen.
Aaron,
a
do you
couple
watch Blue
episodes.
Bloods?
Seen a couple of my family.
Oh,
What shows are you watching? Ozark. Have you seen Ozark?
no.
Hey man, I think you would like Ozark.
Yeah, it's good.
I just started watching Down the Staircase or something like that. Staircase.
That guy,
Staircase,
the guy that the staircase. What about when the guy hit up a male prostitute? He went to court, and he goes, "How would you describe your position?" I'm a male escort and entertainer. And what do you do? What does that encompass? And he's like, he wants to say, culiando, and and then he goes, everything under the sun. It's the name of my next tour, Everything Under the Sun. And it's going to be me in my suit with a string hanging out the back. All right, thank you everybody for listening.
Thank
everybody
you.
for your
Oh my
calls.
God, hi.
It's great
Gil,
to
it's
be back.
good to
Oh
see you
my God.
again.
It's great to see you.
I am wearing the hat and glasses because of my current thing I'm working on. Nobody can see my hair.
We can reveal more later.
And if you saw my verga, you would see the curtains match the drapes.
All right, thanks
What's that
everybody.
on that one? That was nasty. With a little string behind, a little chocolate. With string.